Donald Trump has weighed in on the mystery drone sightings seen in the US in recent days. Over the past week or so, the FBI has received thousands of reports of mystery drone sightings. However, the agency has said that they've been unable to corroborate any of those reported sightings. Now, in a post online, the president-elect has called for the drones to be shot down. Joining me now to talk about this is Professor Avi Loeb, astrophysicist and director of the Institute for Theory and Computation at Harvard University, and Avi, a prominent speaker on what people now describe as UAP, unidentified aerial phenomena. I think that stands for these days. What do you think these things are?
Well, as Richard Feynman observed, we must be careful not to believe things simply because we want them to be true. No one can fool you as easily as you can fool yourself. And to me, all the information available implies that these mysterious drones fly like human-made drones, and others appear to be airplanes or helicopters. It's standard practice for the U.S. military to notify law enforcement authorities of any plans to fly drones over residential areas. And therefore, these unidentified drones must have originated from civilians or an adversarial nation. The latter possibility should not come as a surprise, because there was the Chinese spy balloon spotted back in January 2023, and it was eventually shut down by the U.S. Air Force off the coast of South Carolina.
Let's put this in the wider context, though, Avi, because since then, American lawmakers have been much more open to discussing unidentified objects in the skies above North America, haven't they?
Yes, indeed, the Director of National Intelligence submitted 3 reports to the U.S. Congress, and a new office was established in the Pentagon to examine these reports and figure out whether these unidentified objects are of national security threat or perhaps even extraterrestrial in origin. And so far, they figured out that most of them can be human-made or have mundane explanations, but a few percent are unclear. And, you know, it's an admission by the military and the intelligence agencies that there are things flying overhead that they don't know their nature. And therefore, it needs to be figured out, and especially if these things belong to adversarial nations. So I think it's a priority to figure out what these things are. And I'm leading the Galileo project at Harvard University. We built one observatory that monitors the sky 24/7. We just released a paper that discusses the first 500,000 objects that we found in the sky, some of which we couldn't identify. And we are building 2 other observatories in order to figure out whether there are any extraterrestrial gadgets out there.
You're not alone in this. I know others have been pushing for different things. We've seen whistleblowers in recent years pushing for the government to open up its files on what they may or may not know about these phenomena. Do you think Donald Trump is more open to this kind of thing? Do you think we could see a change in the next year as he becomes the president once more?
Well, the fundamental question is whether indeed the U.S. government has materials or information that has nothing to do with national security, that indicates visits from outside the solar system. I don't know whether that's the case. The whistleblowers did not witness the evidence directly. They heard about it. And it's possible that it's being held by corporations like Lockheed Martin. As a scientist, I can only attend to real evidence. And my hope is that if the government has such evidence, they will share it with scientists, because what lies outside the solar system is not a matter of national security. It's of interest to everyone on Earth.
Yes, I would say it's pretty fundamental, isn't it, to our understanding of the world, the solar system, the universe around us. Look, Avi, just to finish off, back to the here and now with this phenomena on the eastern seaboard of the US. Do you think it probably is human-made? And as the world becomes a bit more fractured, a little bit less collaborative, that we're going to see more of this kind of stuff, which probably is explainable as human activity?
Definitely. We now have drone technologies that we never had before. And you see that in the battlefield in Ukraine. And we know that the adversarial nations are using drones quite routinely. And moreover, there are communication satellites, 10,000 of them in the sky, many more than we used to have before. So we should be aware that there are lights in the sky. The sky is not dark anymore. That's a concern for astronomers, but it's something that we have to live with in the future because we benefit from those technologies.
Professor Avi Loeb, appreciate you shedding a bit more light on this recent situation from Harvard University. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.